It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. Now, tomorrow is a very peculiar day, wouldn't you say?
Very, very interesting. The 5th of May is World Labyrinth Day.
Yes, Labyrinth Day.
Labyrinth Day. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Labyrinth Day.
As you try and make your tongue say that word that it seems like a puzzle. Now, if you're feeling a little bit lost as to exactly what a labyrinth is, then don't worry, because you're not alone. Because labyrinths are often associated with being mazes in which people can desperately get lost in. And we're here to clear it all up for you and show you how to navigate one of life's most interesting puzzles. Shall I kick it off with the first one?
Okay, do.
Okay, well,
go for it.
So when you look at a labyrinth, it's an intricate and complicated network of passages and paths through which it's very difficult to make one's way, right? So now mazes are all associated with being puzzles to be solved and have only one or two correct solutions. But labyrinths have no dead end at all. And they have one way in and one way out. And that's the only way to the center, right?
I remember playing these as a kid, like always in the back of the magazine. It's always tricky. You're trying to find your way. Always did it with a little pencil. So if you couldn't make it, you rub it out and you try again.
Imagine trying to make your way through that. Now, have you heard about the one in Greece?
I have not.
Okay, well, so
for
this reason, labyrinths can be identified in a spiritual or philosophical kind of way, thought for most people throughout the world as they're common throughout nations, cultures, religions, beliefs, and the general function of it is that it's a tool that symbolizes the journey to one's center of self. And the most famous labyrinth in literature is from Greek mythology, the great Daedalus design, one for the king of Crete, who kept a fearsome bull-headed minotaur creature trapped in its center. So if you were lost in that labyrinth, it's not good.
No. Well, Kat, thank you so much for telling us a little bit more what the labyrinth represents. But also, let's look at some of the coolest and most interesting ones that's out there. So we're going to start off with the world's biggest one. It opened in public in 2015. It's at the Labyrinto della Masone in Parma, Italy, and it extends over 80,000 square meters, and it took over a decade of planning. Now, the design of Roman inspiration is made of different types of bamboo, and it has 4 interconnected mazes bound by a star-shaped perimeter.
Look at that. It looks very interesting from the outside. That aerial shot makes it look very cool.
It looks
Inside,
cool.
I'm sure, very scary. Now, the next labyrinth marches away from the traditional use of sacred geometry as the main pattern and has fun with image and text design instead. It's called the Richardson Corn Maze in northern Illinois in the United States, and it's the largest maze in the world. Now, the first maze was planted in 2001, and the theme has changed regularly. Currently, they have the 2007 baseball champions, the Cubs, and previous themes have also included the Beatles and Star Wars, so they change it up all the time.
That's so cool.
How crazy is that?
Well, listen, if you think that's crazy, from a maze to a glass maze, this is in the States and is aptly named also the Glass Labyrinth.
Yes.
And it can be found at the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art in Missouri in the US, and it's constructed out of dozens of 2-meter high, 3-centimeter thick glass panels, and the 1-meter wide paths make you feel both enclosed and out there at the same time. Apparently, it's really a cool feeling, a sensational feeling to experience that.
Yeah, trying to find your way around that must be a crazy thing. So you can celebrate World Labyrinth Day in your own kind of way by heading out to your local park at 1 p.m. tomorrow. That's what everyone, or people who are celebrating it, will be doing, to walk through a labyrinth there. Or if you don't have one of those, then I'm sure you can find one somewhere on the net, print it out, and then trace your way along with a pencil, see whether your mind can figure out.
Magazines and newspapers will be having them, probably.
I'm sure, exactly. So do that, and hopefully you'll discover your own connection to your own central self.